This is the LeFun wireless IP camera C5, which arrives well presented in this box, which includes firstly the camera itself, which is a very nicely made unit. It has a lens at the front, lamp and microphone there, and it can twist around on a horizontal plane but also on a vertical plane as well, so the camera can be directed to virtually anywhere in the room, and that all takes place remotely. These are the Wi-Fi indication lamps at the bottom. There's a tripod mount, so you can use it either with a tripod or with this mounting bracket which is provided. So screw that onto a wall, and screws and wall plugs supplied of course, and then angle it to where it's needed. It runs from the mains, and a mains plug is included, CE stamped, and there's a 2 metre USB cord as well, so that plugs in and provides power to the camera. There's also a phone cable if you choose to use a wired connection. Personally, I prefer to use Wi-Fi, but you can also have it wired, in which case you would connect it into the back of the camera and then into the back of the router. There's also a mains adapter for 2-pin plugs and an instruction leaflet as well. It's quite a simple leaflet, but it gives all the information you need and how to set it up. And if your phone's got a scanner on it, it's even easier. Just scan the code there and then you're ready to go. It's ideal for monitoring a home for security, keeping an eye on elderly or disabled relatives, but also for monitoring pets, which is how I'm using it to monitor my house rabbit when I go away. The camera's controlled via the MIPC app, which I'll now open, and you can see there that my bunny is tucking into his lunch. That really couldn't be easier to use. The image opens up straight away. I can also pan the camera around. I'll just point out I'm in the opposite end of the room at the moment, but I can pan the camera by just touching the screen, so it can go from side to side and also up and down. But you can see there the nice clear image that you get from the camera. And this is the camera in situ. I haven't wall mounted it for the moment, but that will follow later. And you can see there the image it's picking up of Willie still enjoying his Sunday dinner. In addition to being able to move the camera around, you can also hold a conversation with the person being monitored. Obviously I can't expect Willie to speak back to me, but if you see there where it says press to speak. Hello Willie.
Hello Willie.
You hear that through the speaker. Do it again. Hello Willie.
Hello Willie.
So obviously there is a couple of seconds delay on transmitting the message, but you have to imagine using it over a longer distance. You can also take still images if an SD card has been inserted, or video footage as well. That's particularly useful if you see a prowler, for example, because you can record what they're getting up to. Also with this speaker here, obviously Willie's not going to speak back to me, but you can have a two-way conversation if needed. That would be useful, for example, for keeping in touch with and monitoring an elderly relative or disabled person to check that they're okay and arrange help if they need it. There you can see as Willie moves around that I can follow him remotely on the camera. So I have to conclude that this really is a very, very good camera. It's perfect for monitoring pets, for monitoring elderly people, a remote boat, motorhome, camper van, or for home security. It's very, very easy to set up, a doddle to operate, the two-way communication works well, in fact everything just works. So really impressed by this and would very highly recommend it. You can also add additional cameras, so you could even have one camera per room or focused from different angles of a room. If you've got a scanner, it's especially easy to add an additional camera.
Config successfully.
And this is what the phone screen looks like when there are two cameras selected. So we can either watch Willie again, or we can go back and look at the other camera, which is now recording me making this review video. So all very efficient.